Hey guys, good morning. I'm planting a few new things in my garden, 3 Zinfin Doll Hydrangeas and a few Empress Wu Hostas. And I know we just uploaded a video on how to plant a hydrangea, but we shot that one out at my parents' house. I planted a Gatsby Star Oak Leaf Hydrangea, which if you're not familiar with that plant, you really should look it up because they are gorgeous. But I'm really especially excited this morning because we're in our garden and I'm getting to plant some beautiful stuff. I thought you might like to see where we're planting it and a little bit more about the plants. You might be familiar, recognize this spot, because in Garden Tour Part 2 we showed this area and I told you guys how I just wanted to fill it up with hydrangeas and beautiful plants. So this area is covered by evergreens and a crabapple tree. It gets really filtered, dappled light throughout the day, but no direct sun. So I think it's gonna be a perfect spot both for hydrangeas and these hostas. Let's get in close really quick so I can show you the blooms on these hydrangeas. They are amazing. When the blooms come out, they're this beautiful creamy white, and as the season progresses, they change color a little bit and they get more and more pink toward the base. So you kind of get this variation of color through the season, which I think is really amazing. And another thing that I like about these are a Hydrangea Paniculata, and a lot of times the Paniculatas, that grouping of hydrangeas, tend to flop when they're in bloom because they have weaker stems, but not this variety. This variety stays really strong and sturdy and upright. This variety can get quite large, 6 to 8 feet tall and wide, which is perfect for my area. There's a couple of branches around me that I may trim up as they grow, but I don't need to worry about that for a little while. But these hydrangeas bloom on new wood, so you can go in early spring and cut them back by about 1/3, and that way you always have a really nice, fresh plant. It keeps their growth a little bit more in check. So these are just a great plant. I'm really excited to have kind of this drift back here. And then let me show you the Empress Wu Hostas. They are the largest known hostas available. These guys get 3 to 4 feet tall and 5 to 6 feet wide, and they get huge leaves. I'm so excited for this because these hydrangeas getting as tall as they do, it'll be a beautiful layer to have the hydrangeas coming up over the big bold foliage of these hostas. So these are gonna create a nice drift right in front of the hydrangeas. So now I'm just gonna dig a bunch of holes, and I'm gonna make sure before I take the plants out of the can to test the depth. I wanna make sure that the root ball that the plant currently is meets the current level of soil, because we don't want water running in toward the crown of the plants. Here I go. Ooh. All right, I was gonna leave those branches for a while, but they were really in my way to plant, so just made some room. Okay guys, so there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. First of all, you may have noticed I didn't use any amendments when I planted these hydrangeas, and that's because I think sometimes we can do a little bit more harm than good when adding in soil amendments, thinking that if a little bit is good, a lot is better. But hydrangeas are actually a pretty sturdy plant, and they're more adaptable to soil pH than we've given them credit for in the past. I think a couple of the biggest reasons why I have seen people fail at hydrangeas is they've planted them in too hot of afternoon sun and scorched them, or they haven't given them enough water. These plants like quite a bit of water. So I just planted these in regular soil, and I will continue to fertilize them just like I do all my other regular plants in my garden. I've used Hollytone for a lot of years and have had great luck. Some people use Rosetone. I do know that some people have special soil issues that they're dealing with. I've dealt with really heavy clay in the past, for example, and I've had to do a lot of amending with gypsum and compost. So there are special situations where you do need to add in amendments. The other thing I want to talk about is planting underneath trees. There are a couple considerations you need to be aware of. First of all, know what variety of trees you're planting underneath. Some do not like to have their roots disturbed. I know where I have planted, my trees are good. So the other thing is if you've got a canopy of leaves above you and rain is what you depend on for a lot of your moisture, that canopy will deflect a lot of that moisture out and away. So these plants underneath the canopy will depend on you for moisture, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing this little transformation, and hopefully we can update you as time goes on and show you how they filled in. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.